All right. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to day number one, the first podcast ever for Workforce Solutions Alamo. We don't have a title for this yet, so I guess at some point we'll figure something out. My name is Allan, and I work for Workforce Solutions, and I got a buddy here with me. He doesn't like being called buddy, but we're gonna do that anyways.
My name is Victor Givens. I am the Youth Empowerment Services Lead.
Yeah, so we want to go ahead and just kind of chat about, stuff going on in the workforce. We may end up having some of our fellow staff members and stuff like that come through, talk about certain things that they work on. But I figured today we just get to know each other, let the people know what we got going on, everything that we're trying to do. We really want to try and bring workforce is definitely akin to government work. It's always behind the times, never really up to speed on what's going on. So hopefully the two hardworking millennials in the company will try and get that settled, try and get all that stuff figured out. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. I'm a little hungry. Other than that, I'm good. I'm ready to start serving these people.
Make it sound like a church.
Yeah. Right. We're closed on Sundays, so.
Yeah, no Sundays. Like Chick-fil-A. But yeah, so I guess we'll go over what workforce is in general. Because I know that almost every city in most counties in the US have workforce.
No, definitely.
So it's called different stuff. But I don't know, give us an intro. Give us, what you do, who you are, what you like to do, whatever. Just let everyone know who we're working with.
So once again, Victor Giddens, Youth Empowerment Services Lead, or you can call it YES. So what my program consists of is we assist individuals between the ages of 16 to 24, either obtain employment or continue their education, whatever route they want to take. Our end goal is to get them employed. So everyone in the youth program has E3 in their job titles, and E3 stands for Empower, Educate, and Employ. That's our goal with these youth. We have a lot of different services that are provided within this program. We have supportive services to pay for any education you guys may have. Clearly, we can get your job as well, or train you to get a job as well. While you're in our program, there's supportive services such as rent assistance if you aren't able to pay your rent for the month.
So you got to be eligible to get that stuff, though, right?
You bring up a great point. I like to lead in with that first.
Oh, yeah. It's free money, but it's free money for people who
are qualified.
Need it, or qualified for it.
Yes, Allan does bring up a great point. It's not for everyone. You do have to qualify. One of the qualifications are, the age 16 to 24. Another would be a barrier. So you have to have a barrier that is preventing you from obtaining employment or retaining employment. And that could be whether you're a parent or you're pregnant, for the ladies, if you're a dropout, if you've ever been in trouble with the law before, disability, foster youth or former foster youth, a lot. So, you have to have a barrier to qualify for a program, but if you do qualify, it's a great program. There's services that will definitely impact your life for the rest of your life in a positive way too.
For sure. Yeah.
What about you? Let the people know what you do.
I guess I'll go over workforce in general because I've had a solid amount of time in the workforce system. So I'm Allan Shahadi. I am
your name one more time.
Allan Shahadi. And I am the center supervisor for Workforce Solutions Data Point here in San Antonio. So what I do is I oversee a lot of the programs that we offer. So the youth program that Victor's a part of is separate than the programs that I oversee. I oversee the adult side. Um, So we may fit some of the same demographics, like 24 can be hit or miss depending on whether they want to qualify as an adult or go into the youth program or whatever else. But so I help handle. We'll go through in later podcasts and stuff like that. We'll chat a little bit more in depth about choices and SNAP and WIOA. Those are the programs that I oversee. They help different groups of people with different barriers and stuff like that. We do a lot of the same thing that youth does. So I guess I'll say the workforce in general is government-funded operations to help people eliminate barriers of employment. So let's say you're getting food stamps or you're getting welfare. They send you to us once you start receiving your benefits, and we help you get off those programs. So if you got kids and no daycare, we help you get daycare. You got no training, we help you get training. You don't have job opportunities, we've got employers all over the place looking for people. Let's say you find an employer in the tech industry and you don't really have tech experience. We find trainers. We'll help you train into that area and then get you good enough to get that job. So whatever is stopping you from working and making your own money and being financially independent, we, as a free service, will help get rid of those barriers. That's just what Workforce does in a very, very tiny nutshell, because it gets a lot more, obviously government work is a lot more complicated than that. So it can be a little bit crazy sometimes. Yeah. Some stuff can be frustrating for sure. But you have to believe that everything is in the best intention of the people, for sure.
If you notice, we said the word assist and help a lot. So it's ultimately what we're here to do. We're not trying to take anything away from anyone or create more barriers for anyone. We're here to help and assist.
For sure. Yeah. We got just to trying to help everybody in San Antonio area, we got 17 centers here. We got people everywhere. So we work in one center called Data Point. It's kind of the central hub. Probably it's very close. I think we are the largest center in San Antonio. South Flores is very close. Yeah. And we are the most centrally located, so we see the most foot traffic for the most part. So we figured being the central hub for all this stuff, and of course we'll bring Miss Liz, who is the manager for South Flores. We'll bring Mr. Steve, who I know works with all the businesses and stuff like that. We'll bring some cool people on, have a chat about what's going on. Maybe bring some employers. I don't know, whoever wants to hang out. Obama wants to come hang out.
Let me call him real quick.
Yeah, I got his. Yeah, he's just called Obama in my phone. So, but yeah, we got a lot of good plans for this, but I figured we could just kind of chat about our experiences in workforce. You have a history with it, right?
Yeah, I actually was a job seeker. I would say late 2017. I actually was a customer, walked through the doors. I met with a career counselor.
Which center did you go to?
At the time, I went to the Waltham Center. I was living in Alamo Heights at the time.
Okay.
So I walked in and I'm meeting with the counselor. She's a real nice lady. Charlotte, shout out Charlotte. Thank you.
Yeah, she's a good person.
Yeah. Walk in, I was receiving unemployment benefits, so I had to come. It's mandatory for me to come. And I'm sitting with her, meeting in her little cubicle, and in my head, I'm just like, I could work here. She's like, oh, well, apply. So I applied, and here I am, almost 2 years later. I started out as a job coach. I would basically recruit kids for our youth, for the youth program. Last October, I got promoted to the lead. Mm-hmm. And now I have a staff of 14. We're still looking to hire, so
just gonna reach out to everybody there.
Yeah. If you have case management experience, please reach out to us.
Yeah,
that's how I got started. What about you? How did you get in the game?
I've been in the game for a little bit. I used to work for a contractor, C2, who actually runs the contract here in San Antonio. I guess they're the ones that opened the door for me. When was it? It was about so I graduated college in 2016. Kind of bummed around, did my own thing with, sports and whatever else. Late 2000, it was probably late 2017. Two of C2's directors actually recruited me on to help them with social media and some other media projects. I don't have a background in any social media or web development or anything like that. I'm just a millennial, and they were like, you want to help out? So I helped them out. I did my best to help out one of the directors with the social media. And they actually asked me afterwards if I wanted to come on full time, which at the time was a big decision for me. I was trying to pursue sports, but that stuff is a flip of the coin. So I decided to go ahead and, come for Workforce.
Greatest decision of your life.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, it's been going pretty well. I started off just traveling. C2 runs a bunch of contracts around Texas, so and then one in Florida. So I'd be in a different city every week. Eventually, I settled down and worked in Austin a little bit more often, doing special projects over there. The director at the time for San Antonio wanted me to come work for her, so she recruited me over here. I started off as a data analyst, running reports and whatnot for the amazing team here. They've just gotten better since I left, so maybe a positive that I opened that spot up.
But rid of some dead weight.
Yeah, I guess so. I was just coasting, and they got someone who is killing it right now. That dude is amazing. Nicholas, shout out Nicholas. We're gonna be shouting out a lot of people. Yeah, Nicholas is doing amazing. But I was a data analyst for a while, and I worked on a project for San Antonio, for the whole San Antonio area, trying to get everyone transitioned over to new software. And I ended up taking the lead on that. And I think I did a good enough job where they decided to give me a shot as a supervisor. So now,
how long have you been a supervisor?
I've been a supervisor since last November. So maybe 6 months now. February, March, April, 5 months. So I've been a supervisor for about 5 months, which, if I thought I was out of my scope in QA, I feel like I'm way out of my depth here, but I got a good support team around me. I'm learning a lot as we go. So I'm definitely very fortunate with the team that I have being so stable around me. But yeah, that's how I got into Workforce. Not nearly as long as we got tenured staff that work here that are here for 20, 25 years now. We got people in the game for a long time. It feels like once you're in Workforce, you're chilling for a while.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll bring some of them on. And we got some cool people working for us for sure.
People with a lot of experience.
Lots of knowledge. You gotta be patient. You gotta be patient for this job. It's akin to social work, and social work has an insanely high turnover rate. But I'm happy we don't really have that. A lot of our people feel pretty happy in their spots.
Definitely, yeah.
So when it comes to Workforce, I got a question for you, Victor. When it comes to Workforce, what are some of the things you see that we're the strongest in here in San Antonio? Because you traveled around San Antonio a little bit, right?
I have.
You've been around. Oh, you're a San Antonio boy too.
Yeah, raised here. Wasn't born here,
Yeah.
But yeah, my roots have been established here.
What do you think we do well in San Antonio, and what do you think we struggle with?
I think that we do well with the services that we provide. If you, a lot of it has to do with the customer as well. But if that customer is willing, and determined to change their life,
they got to do half. We can only reach halfway.
Two-way street for sure. We definitely can assist, with changing lives. I really think that's what we do. One thing I think that we're lacking at is outreaching the great things that we do. And
Mhm.
we're, our hands are tied a little bit because we, there's only so much we can do because we have a board that's to approve things. But I want to get this message out to like everyone in San Antonio.
I mean, that's what this podcast is kind of doing.
See?
We're going to be chatting with y'all. Victor and I are going to be just kind of bouncing ideas and stuff off each other here with y'all. And maybe we can get information out. People listen to podcasts. Maybe they know someone who needs an opportunity or needs help or something like that. Do our best to help out. Yeah, but so outreach, we got a lot of red tape when it comes to advertising and promoting and whatnot. So I would definitely agree with you there. I think another problem we may have, is sometimes we don't say exactly what is needed right off the bat. So I definitely have dealt with a lot of people who start a program to try and get off of some type of government benefits and then come back 2 weeks later saying, well, I didn't know I had to do this, 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 and this. I don't want to do that. So, I mean, we can only help people who want help.
Yeah.
There's definitely people who want to stay on benefits. And I mean, as long as they need it, it's not all bad. But I feel like sometimes we're not as straightforward as I think we should be. We'll get people jumping in and then they'll jump off ship pretty quickly, or they'll just disappear. And we want to do our best to help people, but we got numbers we got to meet too, and that doesn't look good on us. We can only keep helping people if we keep our performance up. So
I regret waiting. I didn't know about Workforce until I started receiving unemployment. So the first time I even heard about it or walked into a door was when I was told I had to do it.
I never understood it until I got into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is just a thing. It's like the DMV. Mm-hmm. So it must be something like that.
But we're not, and I want people to know that we're not unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to join these programs just because you're receiving benefits. If you're just sitting at home right now and you want to change your life, come to the workforce virtually though, because COVID and all that. I don't think we mentioned COVID.
We are in the middle, yeah. So depending on when this episode gets uploaded, we're actually in the middle of COVID right now. So we're doing our best to move everything virtual, and I think this is a good chance for us to start a podcast because, I mean, if anything happens, we can get information out there. We can let people know what's new going on. Part of me almost wants to bring HR in here to chat about opportunities we have because
he wasn't dressed professionally.
He was not dressed professionally. He did not want to get on camera. But we got a lot of interesting characters here that we could chat with. So other than that, I'm trying to think what else in Workforce. Workforce, it's very hard to be very simple with Workforce because the moment you start getting into the details is when it just gets insanely complicated. That's something I think both of us moving up the ladder have had to learn too.
I learn something new every day, or about workforce in general.
It feels like once I start getting comfortable, then a new problem is thrown at me, and I just get frustrated because I'm like, I had no idea this was ever a thing I had to do. And Brenda's like, yeah, just happens. That's just what it is.
Ask questions. That's the one thing I've learned. You can never go
so many questions.
Asking a question.
So many questions. I feel bad sometimes though, because I'm asking questions about everything. It feels like it just at the level that we're at now. I think there's so much information we have to absorb. Yeah. But I mean, like half of it is our staff. Yeah. Our staff is amazing. Yeah. I know my teams are superstars. They're killing it. But I mean, to be able to guide them in the right direction, I need to know what I'm doing. Yeah. So that's gonna be a fun part of it. That's gonna be a fun thing to explore. Hopefully, this will also serve as like a time machine. See where we're at now, and if we keep this going, seeing where we're at later on.
I actually ask my staff questions, man, like that. I have tenured staff, that have been way longer than me, so sometimes I'll even ask them questions. Yeah. The trick I use though is I try to get somebody in each department, at least one person, in each department. So I know I can have someone that I can go to, if I have a question, whether it be at fiscal, QA.
I was about to say, I think I got a good repertoire with QA, but I'm not sure about that. We'll see. Just because I used to work with them, I don't know what their real opinions are of me, but I always thought they were cool people. I mean, we'll see how it goes. So I'm trying to think what else is going on in the city. I mean, there's a lot going on in the city. Our COVID cases just spiked back up again.
Yeah.
So we had about a little over 200 this weekend, just from the jails. But I almost want to say it's no coincidence with the state opening back up. We're in the great state of Texas. I don't know how far this is going to reach. This podcast is going to reach. Yeah, Texas. But I don't. Part of me, my brain keeps saying it's a coincidence, but then also maybe the jails just weren't tested until now, and they had cases.
Well, I think, and I don't want to get like too political or anything, but I feel like with more testing, there's going to be more confirmed cases.
I mean, for sure. But the information, for the most part, coming through the systems is that if you feel sick, stay home. Yeah. It is not feel sick and go get tested, which I'm not going to argue which one is correct. That's going to have to be for a later date or another podcast if we're going to argue stuff like that. But people who are sick with corona are probably staying home just trying to write it out.
You'd hope so.
I mean, I would hope so, yeah. But since they're writing it out, they're not getting tested. That's not getting added up. So it's a double-edged sword there.
Yeah, there's so many more people out there who would potentially have it.
And they're just not getting tested. The TV and the radio is saying, stay home. Yeah. Don't go out, which I'm down with. I'm okay with them not going out. But that just means they're not, unless we go to their house, they're not getting tested. So it's going to be a weird fluctuation with the amount of time. But on the plus side with that, hopefully we'll get a better grasp on it. And then employers, so I know some restaurants are already open, huh? Yes. At least in San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, I think restaurants are already starting to open up again.
That 25% occupancy. I actually had a friend tell me that they waited 2 hours to eat at a restaurant, and there were so many open tables. But
well, it's on purpose.
Yeah, and they make you. They have hand sanitizer for you when you walk in. So that and I've noticed. All employees are wearing masks.
I think they have to. Yeah. I think it's required now. I think Governor Abbott made that. He said if they're going to be opening back up, then the businesses have to provide equipment for their staff when it comes to this situation. So it's going to be fun to follow that for sure. But I mean, like the more businesses probably don't need employees now. But when they start going 50% capacity, 75% capacity, they'll probably start hiring on a little bit more. Yeah. So we'll definitely keep that in the loop.
It can either go up or down. So you're going to be 50% or back to zero. So.
Yeah. I mean, back to zero is what's been our normal for now. 50% is just going to be, me personally, I cannot wait to go back out. But I think it's all, even if we're at 100%, even when they're getting to the point when they get to the point where they're saying that we're going to be good for a while, I still think I'm going to be super nervous going into a crowd.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. But even if they're like, we're good, we're done, just going, maybe it's just like I got used to the minimal activity.
Yeah, I'm going to wait. I don't think I'm going to go to a restaurant until 2021.
I'm going to be waiting for a little bit. I saw on Instagram, my buddy had his wedding anniversary. Congratulations, Andrew, if you end up listening to this. And he went out to Chili's.
Of all restaurants, Chili's.
He's in a small town, so Chili's is the spot. But I was sitting there looking at his page thinking, like, half of my brain was like, oh, man, good for him. It's been 3 years already. I remember going to his wedding. And then the other half of my brain is like, oh, no, don't get sick, man. Please don't get sick.
For 2 weeks.
I still got a little bit of that internal panic. But the workforce will be here to help for sure. It'll be fun working through this, to be honest, because we've been working at home, which has been a change. Mm-hmm. And obviously we're in a setup where, we're going to be pretty pretty isolated. There's like no one else in the building, or maybe a couple other people, but
We're social distance.
yeah. We come, we hang out here, we chat, and then we put on our mask and go deal with the rest of the outside world. But it's going to be interesting to deal with this after the fact.
I think life has definitely changed. RIP to anyone who's ever lost anyone due to this. That's where my heart is with, but I definitely feel like this is going to change the world forever.
I mean, if anything, it's going to change our business for a while, just because maybe this podcast will continue, and this is something we weren't able to do beforehand. Maybe some of the new tools that we're going to be using to help people virtually will stick around and be more useful for sure. But I think overall, we might focus a little bit more on specialized medical staff.
Yeah, definitely.
Because obviously we want to push in-demand occupations. Medical is definitely one of those. But maybe we do something more specific now moving forward, just because this thing is going to linger for a while. The next time weather's going to take any effect on it is going to be middle of the summer, but we don't even know if it's going to drop away when it gets hot. It's already hot out, especially in Texas.
So Florida, it's always hot there. Are there a lot of cases in Florida?
It's a great question. We can look that up real fast.
Floridians out there, tune in. Let us know about your cases.
Yeah, I would love to know about it. It looks like it's still going steady. 35,000 confirmed in the U.S. In Florida, yeah, in the state.
35,000. 35,000. Wow.
I wonder how much it is in Texas, because Texas is a big state too, but we have a lot of rural land.
Yeah.
So there's not.
Florida's kind of too.
I guess, yeah. I've only ever been to a couple spots in Florida.
But the most cows in any state.
Florida or Texas?
Florida, more than Texas.
More cows than any state? That's quite a fact code you got there.
Fact check me.
That's interesting.
More than Texas.
We got the Longhorns. It'll work out though. But man, so maybe we'll start pushing for more. I know that we do a lot of work for medical staff right now, but maybe we'll have to focus a little bit more on specializing in
infectious disease.
Yeah, maybe. I know IT has been surging a lot lately, and IT hasn't been touched just because. Sorry about that. IT hasn't been touched just because a lot of their work is mobile anyways.
Yeah.
A lot of them can work from home regardless.
You would think, since everything is going virtual now, that there would be a spike in IT industries.
I wonder, though. I know that we still have it as a demand occupation, so it hasn't changed being in demand. In demand just means that it's still on the rise. They're still hiring more and more. It's still a huge industry for us to work with.
Just think about it, because people are buying things online now. Cybersecurity, you don't want to. For instance, Zoom needs to get an IT program to stop people from hacking into Zoom meetings.
Yeah, we've been dealing with a lot of that recently. Yeah. So, we're trying to take our measures, because we're just trying to get the information out to the good people of Texas. But we're gonna have a lot of opportunities coming up for sure. It's going to be really good to get other people on this show and kind of chat with them about, what's going on in workforce, what's happening, what are we doing moving forward, what is the employer. Maybe we'll bring we got some employers coming in, maybe we got some success stories coming in or something like that. Yeah. We help a lot of people. We don't get the word out nearly as much as we would like, and that's something we repeat from the beginning. So maybe this will try and help out.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if anything, if you're not interested in this, hopefully we're talking soft enough to where this could be an ASMR channel for someone. You need to go to sleep late at night. You just can't. You got an interview or something in the morning. There we go. All the misophonia people are going to be very upset, but we're going to do our best to try and keep this going. We want to have some interesting chats with some interesting people about workforce. Maybe we'll set up a Gmail or something like that so people can reach out to us.
Yeah, send some questions.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Open up a Twitter or something like that. We'll see. Beginning phases, so we got a lot of stuff to plan out. But if there's nothing else, buddy.
Would you even consider this episode 1 or like episode pre-1?
This is episode 0?
Episode 0, okay.
Episode 0?
Before 1.
There's something before 1. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, I guess this could be episode 0. But we'll start doing more targeted episodes next time, huh? Maybe we'll format this up real nice. So we'll have a lot of good stuff going on. We'll have a lot of opportunities to speak with whoever we want. And then we'll have some chances to just kind of chat, me and Victor. Because I know you and I could just sit here and just talk about workforce all day, specific topics of interest and whatever else. But other than that, appreciate you chat with me.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see how this goes.
Do we need to get like an exit? We have an intro. What's our exit like? Workforce.
Workforce on 3. No, just say, I hope you have a good day, Victor.
Hope you do too, Allan.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. It's going to be a busy week, but it's going to be good. So we'll try and get some episodes in the pipeline. Start getting this out on a regular basis. Try and get some way to communicate with the people. So awesome. Without anything else to say, y'all have a good day too. Let us know if y'all need anything.
Hasta luego.